accreditation process, the standards are different for day camps versus overnight camps, but generally they're looking at the same things. They're looking at food safety, they're looking at the infirmaries, they're looking at the safety of climbing walls, the distance between bases on a baseball field. I mean, they really do a very complete job of making sure that everything is up to snuff. And every year, or not every year, but every few years, they may change their policies and add standards. So one standard that I can think of that has come to light in the last several years is that all camps that are accredited by the ACA, they have to have a defibrillator in their infirmary. Whereas years ago they didn't require that. Now, in order to get accredited, you need to have it. So, they're trying to keep up on the most, up-to-date things that they feel are going to allow their children to be the safest. It may include background checks for staff and what the ratio is of staff to child. So, and the American Camping Association website, there's pages and pages of what those standards will be if you're interested in taking a look at them. So there are 2,400 accredited camps through the ACA. And there are many camps out there that are not accredited by the ACA, and some of them choose not to be accredited because to be honest with you, it's expensive. And some camps don't feel as though that's an important way to spend their money. But it is definitely something I would ask if they're not accredited, why is it that they're not moving forward? So, in finding an overnight camp or a teen program, I think that, there's different sets of criteria. With overnight camp, I think that, or in day camp, that there's things that you need to think about. You want to maybe think about the number of weeks you want your child to attend. You want to have an idea of what your budget is going to be. You may want to take a look at, whether the camp is co-ed or single sex. You may consider the location. What activities are your children involved in that are important to your child? You want to make sure that that camp may have some of those activities. And one of the other things which I think a lot of parents are not necessarily aware of, but it's something to ask or pay attention to, is whether the camp program is a choice-based program where the children get to choose what they want to do throughout the day, or whether it's a structured program. Some philosophy, at camps is that they, especially with the younger children, is that they want the kids to try everything. They want them to be exposed. They want them to, whether it's to try to go canoeing or go rowing or try to water ski, whereas some camps, they really are going to leave it up to the children to decide what they want to do. And I think that you need to really know your own child, because some kids get very stuck, feeling like they have to make all of these choices. So it may be a conversation that you may want to have, with your child, and take a look at when you're looking, through information. There are so many things written about the benefits of camp and of teen programs. But I think one of the things that's really important as a parent is that is to really kind of think about the things that are going to be a benefit. So, some things are learning new activities, spending time outdoors, making new friends. They learn independence. They learn negotiating skills. They learn to work as a group, especially if they're living as a cabin, and learning how to advocate for themselves. And all of these kinds of activities, developmentally, really help build self-esteem. For many children, camp is a life-changing experience, and it carries with them wherever they go. And I think that those are goals to kind of keep in mind when thinking about overnight camp for your children. And having the conversation with your children about what their goals are is also important. In general, children's goals tend to be much more tangible than parents' goals. Their goal may be to become better at soccer or to be, a better dancer. But that's okay. As long as they're going into it, with an open mind. I think that the other major thing that parents, what we hear from so many parents is that going away to camp and being involved in a group, it is an incredible way, and I think a lot of parents see a change in that their kids develop great social skills. And they see a marked change in their maturity, which is an incredible benefit. And oftentimes, they have an opportunity to become close with other adults besides, family members. So that's just something to, to keep in mind.